Okay, so if you cover all this, then you can have a result seeing what can we do with this. Okay, so should we build a high-speed rail and how should we be built, and then whether it was effort or not, how we finance it. Okay, so with this kind of the introduction, I'd like to bring you quickly through one of the projects we did, and this is for the Midwest high-speed rail. Many of you probably know this. Before the Midwest high-speed rail is in conception, there is a Midwest Regional Initiative. This initiative was in the 1980s. The 9 states and the FI get together, and they have joint effort to improve the regional railroad. This initiative is to improve the 3,000 miles of the railroad network in the region and to 110 miles, and then making the Chicago is the hub for this region. Current Obama administration is already start one of the this high-speed rail initiation in Illinois, and this is the Illinois high-speed rail project, is to improve this line to 110. Okay, so this is the current project under construction. With the high-speed rail comes in, this original 110 mile per hour maybe is not enough, and consequently there is a new proposal. Is to try to connect the Midwest with really high-speed rail, and several studies have been undertaken. One of the studies we participate is in evaluating constructing a true high-speed rail to connect to Chicago, to Champaign, to St. Louis, and to Indianapolis. And this is one of the projects being studied. Before we go on and talk to how we did it, let's look at some of the aspects, or we look into some of the background to see whether there's a chance for this Midwest high-speed rail. Okay, this is the map which is sort of proposed by the Midwest High-Speed Rail Association. And the concept is trying to connect Chicago to the major cities surrounding Chicago with the true high-speed rail, which is 220 miles per hour, and trying to connect all of them together so that every place surrounding this like Minneapolis, Cleveland, Cincinnati, or St. Louis, they are all within about 2 hours to 3 hours from Chicago. And Chicago will become the true downtown, of the Midwest. Is there a chance? Is there a chance for this? Before we talk too much, then let me compare something for you. This is France. This is France on the same scale map. These two maps are the same scale. This is France and this is Midwest. Okay. And these are the high-speed line which has been built between in France and between France and adjacent countries. Okay. Like Holland, Belgium, England. Okay, so these are the high-speed line connecting to this place. They are in the same size. Okay, how about economy-wise? France is the number 6 economy in the world. Okay, but if you put Midwest as a whole, Midwest will be number 5. Will be number 5 economy in the world if you put all the economy together in Midwest. How about population? The population in France total is 65 million. The population in Midwest is 65 million too. How about the population concentration? This is the population in Paris, 11.8 million in the metropolitan Paris, and 1.8 million in Lyon. So this is their first line from Paris to Lyon. Paris to Lyon, this line is their first line, and it's 1.8 million in one end and 11.8 million in one end and 1.8 million in the other end. Let's look at if we try to construct a high-speed line between Chicago and St. Louis, what is the population distribution? This would be the distribution. Chicago is 9.7 million, the metropolitan Chicago. St. Louis is 2.8. And you have some additional towns, medium-sized towns in between in comparison to the Paris-Lyon. So actually, by this comparison, the size are not too much off. The population are not too, total population are not too much different. The density of the population are not too different. So maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance for this high-speed rail network in Midwest. Okay, so after doing that, we start looking into different areas had to be considered. Okay, so we did a preliminary engineering, including identified of the station, location, and route, and the different kind of structure which is required, alignment required to service the stations. And then we look at what are the capital costs, and we look at what are the operation plan, what are the fleet size, and so we figure out what are the operation costs and maintenance costs. And from all this, we also try to estimate if we have such a high-speed rail system, how many people are going to ride it, okay, and how much they are willing to pay, and then how much income would be. And we also look into what good it would be to the society in the type of the stimulating of the job, or in the type of the regional development, or in the type of avoidance cost of not have to build a highway, another highway, or in the future, or not have to build an airport, okay, or reduce of the highway accident, or reduce of the oil import. So we look into all this, and then finally we come out with a financial plan, and we come out with how to implement. So basically we go through this, and we go through all these steps which we talk about it, and we completed this study. And the current status of this study is that it will be announced. It is in the final step of the review, and it will be announced very soon. Okay, so basically, what I have done here today is trying to review what are the considerations you need for planning a high-speed rail system, and give you sort of some idea what involved too. And then I give you an example, and we have using this approach, and we have come out with some result. So I think that this will conclude our second lecture on this subject. Thank you for your attention, and it is my pleasure to share with you what we have learned. Thank you. Bye.